about let's go to our running backs here. So Travis Etienne coming off 2 straight single-digit games. There's just a lot of concerning signs here. 4 straight games with 14
Not
or
this week.
Well, I'm just saying there are concerning signs. He's not getting a lot of carries.
There's nothing concerning this week.
There is. I mean, he's averaging 3.2 yards per carry in his last 10.
And Aaron Jones couldn't get close to 100 yards and ran for 127, and A.J. Dillon couldn't find the end zone. He scored. It's the Panthers. I mean, don't overthink things.
All right. And then you've got DeAndre Swift, who
I love DeAndre Swift.
Right, but he doesn't catch any passes. He has 5 catches in his last 5 games.
Don't overthink things.
He's out, but he's out of the goal line. He's out of the
matter. It doesn't matter. They make everybody look good.
It's not. So the difference is like Swift hasn't exactly looked bad, whereas Etienne has looked bad, right? But Swift
is my start of the week. I don't worry about this.
All right. Swift doesn't have the 3 to 4 catches every week.
This is the lane just opened up. You have a wide open layup. Don't miss it. I mean, it's just too easy.
Yeah. All right. So, but are we talking top 12 guys in these great matchups for Etienne and Swift?
They are for me. I'm not even overthinking things. I mean, there's just, he's going to get the work. He's been getting the work the last 2 games. They want to run the ball. This is an easy opportunity to run the ball. It's the Cardinals going to the East Coast back-to-back road games. I mean, this is as close to a layup as you can find.
I might be the one overthinking things on Swift. I have him ranked pretty low, just because I'm worried about what happens if he doesn't score? What happens if he doesn't have a ton of work? Did the Eagles' defense solve itself against the Giants? Does that mean it's going to be a run-heavy offense for Philadelphia?
Well, it was early.
I'm not ready to say that he's a bust by any stretch, but it's something that I think I've got to reconcile.
They were up 2 touchdowns in the first half when they were running the ball.
I mean, and they gave him a touchdown late, right? Didn't he score late in the game?
No, he scored in the second quarter.
That's late.
And he should have had one in the first quarter.
But that's the thing. Okay, if he doesn't score, if they get inside the 2-yard line, he's not scoring the touchdown most likely.
That's true.
Like I said, he has 5. It's not like I don't think he's going to run efficiently against the Cardinals. It's not that. He's a trap back, right?
He scored in the fourth quarter against the Giants.
Scored in the fourth quarter? Okay.
From 5 yards out. So it really comes down to, like, he's going to get some carries inside the 10 when they get there. But it might only be like 2 carries the entire game. If he scores on one of them, that's great. But even without it last week, what do you give you? 9 non-PPR and PPR points?
Yeah,
he's a number 2 running back at minimum. If you think he could be more efficient on 20 carries this week. You can make the case that he's like well inside the top 20.
All right, Heath, where do you stand on Etienne and Swift?
I've got Etienne as borderline top 12. Mostly just agree with what Jamie said. I'm starting him and not thinking about it. Swift is a low-end number 2 for me. It's a great matchup. There's a great opportunity, but Jalen Hurts could have 4 or 5 touchdowns, and it wouldn't surprise me at all. And if DeAndre Swift doesn't score a touchdown, he's going to stink.
So, Jamie, who do you like better, Swift or Etienne? Who do you all like better, Swift or Etienne?
Etienne.
Travis Etienne.
It's okay. What about if Beathard plays? Would it change anything?
I think we should expect it at this point. I almost think that Jacksonville, they're
I never expect Kansas
City. They just need a win.
He's literally never missed a game because of injury. High school, college, the NFL.
I saw a report that his status was in doubt. He's got a sprained AC shoulder.
Yeah, he was in a concussion protocol. He didn't miss the game.
2 days.
Yeah, he had the high ankle sprain.
He was bent backwards and his ankle fell off, and they put it back on. And he came back the next week.
They just signed a quarterback to their active roster.
I think that speaks more about Beathard, to be honest with you, than it does about Lawrence.
Oh, they're not going to Matt Barkley over Beathard.
I don't think they're going to Matt Barkley either, but I think if they want to see what happens over the next couple of weeks, just in case.
Maybe. All right. So you guys like Etienne and Swift. Do you like James Conner or Etienne and Swift?
Etienne, Swift, Connor for me, but they're all very close.
Connor, Etienne, Swift.
I think Etienne, Connor, Swift.
All right. How about how about Breece Hall compared to those 2 guys? Start with that.
He makes me nervous this week, but it's hard to get away from what his potential is. And I know the Miami game was an absolute disaster, but he had been so involved in the passing game the 4 games prior to that, and then got back involved in the passing game clearly again. So, just based on what his upside is, I know it's a tough matchup against Cleveland, but I don't see how anybody could be sitting Breece Hall.
But I don't look at him as a top 12 running back. I wouldn't put him that high. I'm not anointing him. He's coming off of a game where he had 32 touches on Sunday. Now he's playing on Thursday. The matchup is inherently harder. And I'm getting a little nervous about him. I have him 15th. I'm not sure if I can even keep him that high against the Browns. I'll start him as a number 2 running back, but I don't know if he's going to need those catches again. And I think he can get 6 or 7, 12. I'd be surprised.
Did you just use my YOLO roster for the tough calls? Yeah, no. I'm not he's the exact opposite of DeAndre Swift. He could score 25 fantasy points without scoring a touchdown, and they could score 0 points.
I said to you before the show started, Breece Hall, in week 1, he scored something like 15.4 points PPR. That is his only game all year with anywhere between 12 and 18. So that's why you get so frustrated with Breece Hall. Now he's usually in the 10, 11 range. A bad game for Breece Hall is like 10, 11 PPR points. If you're in a half PPR or a non-PPR league, it's probably a little bit of a different discussion, especially non. But he doesn't score 14, 15, 6. He doesn't have any okay or solid games. He's either great or that's pretty disappointing. But whereas Etienne has single-digit PPR fantasy points in, I don't know what it is, a lot recently, maybe 4 of his last 5 games, or 4 of his last 6, something like that. That almost never happens with Breece Hall. But it is weird. When you get those guys who don't have a lot of in-between games, they can give you a lot of fits. So, all right. So, final rankings, Travis Etienne, DeAndre Swift, Breece Hall. What do you, as of Wednesday, your rankings of those 3?
Etienne, Swift, Hall, Connor for me.
Okay.
Connor, Hall, Etienne, Swift.
Hall, Etienne, Connor, Swift. Okay. That was helpful. Very helpful.
Yeah, Devon Achane. Pick your favorite analyst, folks. Devon Achane. Is he even a tough call at this point, Heath, or is Achane just a sit?
It's hard to just say he's a sit because we know what type of upside that he has. But I was looking at this the other day, like the 2 games that he's had this season where he's had more than 12 touches, the Dolphins won by a combined 80 points. Like if it's been a competitive game, he's been 12 touches or fewer. They're hopeful this is going to be a competitive game. I don't think they're going to win it by 30 to 50 points. So he's got that Breece Hall big play ability, could score from anywhere. That's what keeps him in the conversation. But he's behind every running back we've talked about so far, and he's not a top 25 running back for me in any format.
Ooh.
I totally agree. And the only way I'd be starting Achane this week is if Raheem Mostert is somehow out.
Dave, I see your ranking is 16th on Devon Achane right now.
It's the upside. We know what he's capable of doing. We know that he can break long ones. We know that he catches passes as well. We don't know how healthy Raheem Mostert is. If Mostert plays and he's not at 100%, Achane theoretically would get more work.
I'm sorry, I don't remember. What was his injury when he missed?
They haven't listed as a shin injury right now.
No.
Nobody has
Achane
time to shin
was
injury.
A knee, right? When Achane missed that, yeah.
Achane was in the injury, yes.
So since he's come back, I don't know if this is coincidence. You can't expect him to break big runs, but you can cut his season in half. Before he missed that time, he had 39 carries. Since he missed that time, he's had 40 carries. In the last 40 carries, he does not have a run longer than 15 yards.
And he's only done well in the blowout against the Commanders, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah. And before that, the first 39 carries, he had 6 carries of longer than 15 yards, which is great. And he had 3 carries of 55 or more yards. So you can't, really, you shouldn't expect anyone to have a whole bunch of big runs on only 40 carries. But I do have to wonder if he's not as explosive as he was before the knee injury.
You also have a bad offensive line that's fallen apart since then, too.
True. Ravens do not have a great run defense. I say that almost every week. It's if they have a defensive weakness, it's their run defense. It's not bad, but okay. All right.
Yeah,
so,
but only the really elite guys have done well against them.
Probably. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. Only 6 running backs have scored more than 13.5 fantasy points. They are Gibbs, Moss, Henry, Mixon, Kyron, and Christian McCaffrey.